Hello, Oaklawn horse players. Man, Marco, I missed you yesterday, man. What
Had
happened?
an eventful weekend so far. Ended up getting home at like 6 in the morning. Got dragged out to the casino,
Okay.
but it was it was with our other brother, and he likes to have a good time, and so that's what we went and did, and I paid dearly for it.
I heard he went from 5,000 to 200 up to 25,000 on blackjack, and then somehow walked out of there with 9,000.
Yeah, well, I think they just wanted to keep his money, so they called last shoot, and then so we went. We had 500, 500, and 500, three different hands, two blackjacks, and then
Wow.
the other one was a three, and then another three came out, split that, and then another three came out, split that. Then we got a 10, 10, and 11 on all three of those, and we went double down, double down, double down. Got 3 10s on all those.
That's
The other
crazy.
bust, let's just say it was like an $8,000 hand. And then that was the last shoot, cashed out, and I left. So
All right. Well,
it
I know
was one of
you were
the
the sober one. You were the sober one, and you took.
yeah. I was drinking water, and it was one of the best blackjack sequences I've ever seen in my life. Live. It was just unbelievable.
Well,
And my
that's a cool.
my picks did not fare well as the table. So today's a different story.
Well, I was about to say that's a cool story because our picks yesterday were not cool. I had one winner, Norm McKnight, on the rail with the first dirt runner that had a nice little work tab going on, and that was it. It was tough sledding. You know what happened? I noticed that the track played a lot differently yesterday, especially from the middle of the day on. The back half of the races were pretty much all won on the lead. Pretty much every horse wired the last 4 races for sure. And if that's any indication, I handicapped speed for today.
Okay.
2 things: the way the track was playing yesterday, and the way just because of 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds are funny. A lot of them are precocious early, have a lot of speed early. The good ones that show speed early can usually win these races early. And then later on, some of these you might not hear from again, especially the sprinters. They might win now and then they step them up and they get buried. But we do have a couple of races where you might see a Southwest runner, maybe a Derby prospect. We'll see. Time will tell on that. But we'll see. Like I said, speed.
Yeah.
How did you get a chance to watch any replays yesterday and check out the track?
I watched. No, actually, I did not get a chance to watch any replays from yesterday. Just didn't have the time. I still don't really have a whole lot of time. We've got a house full here, and I'm
Right.
moving around. Bouncing around here with space and everything else.
Mm.
But today's card, I watched them. So going through it, and I think it's going to be very entertaining, to say the
Okay.
least. But bunch of 2-year-olds. The whole card is 2-year-olds. It's the last day for 2-year-old racing, and I think we will see a lot of prices come.
Good deal. Well, let's look at our ROI. We got off to a terrible start, then we had a couple of good days. Now we're in the negative. But
Okay.
so just so the public knows how this works, it's me and Marco are doing a mythical $2 win place on each of our picks, our top picks. So we're picking every race. And, this isn't too bad considering, because normally you're not going to pick every race, but, and we obviously subtract the $4 bet. We're not just picking the races and counting the winners. We have to take out the dollars going in. you know. So, but yeah, a couple of winners here today. We're right back in the positive. So let's keep our chin up and pick some winners today. I did put an early pick five ticket together as always. I'll scroll that on the bottom and we'll talk about our picks or my picks for the pick five. And then of course your picks. I usually add my picks in with your picks just to kind of like make sure we're uniform a little bit. And I singled one of my horses that we'll talk about. And I did talk to Justin Dew last night. He's going to join us on our Friday feature. We usually have a guest every Friday, and he's going to be joining us next week.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to see Dew back.
Yeah, doing the Dew. He'll be on the webcast next week. We'll tape it next Thursday for Friday's card. And I'm still excited about tomorrow's card here, New Year's Day. We have 2 family horses running, so that's going to be awesome. Talking about that, but
a lot of good racing on tomorrow. Today's the baby day. Tomorrow's a big day. So,
well, let's dive into this first race, Marco. It is, of course, these are all 2-year-old races. This is a maiden special weight for 2-year-olds, going 6 furlongs for fillies. And my top pick was Happy in Smiling. It's John Ortiz with Santana. My thinking out of this horse was just the breeding angle. It's out of a very classy broodmare. And this one ran on the rail. You know how I feel about first-time starters on the rail. Gets off the rail. And I think it's going to show some zip today. With speed fade last time. Couldn't quite. It got tangled up a little bit down there. And once it didn't get the lead from the rail, you know, you have nowhere to go. You can't hustle. You can't. I mean, you're limited. So the one holes wasn't ideal for this runner. Getting off the rail, it should show more zip here second time. And I felt like the morning line of 8-1 was pretty solid. The 6 horse was just a first-time starter out of Brad Cox and Flavion Pratt's in town for a lot of these races, and Brad Cox does really well with these 2-year-olds. So threw Bold Appeal in there, and I couldn't leave it off my ticket.
Very logical. Okay.
Yeah, you landed on the 2, Tanya Showers.
Yeah, so Tanya Showers, she gains experience over the field, except for one in today. She has come up short in her races, but she has passed horses in all 3 of her races, which I like to see that, especially as a young horse. She has a couple of workouts over Oaklawn, and her 2-back drill looks to have her fit. Her dam was lightly raced, but she has 3 wins and 5 career starts, including 2 stake wins. And she also has 11 siblings, and 10 of them are winners.
Wow.
So I think with a clean trip, she could be a major player here for the win. But the trip needs to be clean. If there's any issues, she had a couple small little issues in a couple of her races, and it kind of cost her just maybe not the win, but some positioning. So I like her. And then my second choice here is Lemon Muffin. And she's the other in here who has experience over the field. And she has shown back-to-back strong races with 2 place finishes in her last 2. Mm-hmm. Shows a steady work pattern. And December 18th and December 10th workouts are good indicators that she'll handle the Oaklawn surface. Similar running style to Tanya Showers. And I think this race is going to come down who gets the better position and trip with one of these 2. So
yeah, duly noted. I mean, both those horses have strong numbers coming in. They're knocking on the door, coming from the Kentucky Tough circuit out there. You got Chris Hartman and the coach. Like them both. You'll have to reel in my horse. I think my top pick's going to have the front today, although I don't know about the firsters. That's why I have Bold Appeal in there. Maybe that one's a freak and just goes. But with these these horses that have one start or no starts, as opposed to your horses that have three starts, you're going to have a stamina edge, and you're going to be, hold your speed maybe a little longer, but we'll see what happens. All right, race 2 is obviously also a 2-year-old race. I don't have to keep saying that, but these horses are winners. This is an optional claiming $62,000 race, and this is a starter allowance of 50,000 or less. So all these horses have had run for a tag for 50. And I landed on the 6 horse Hayek, and I had a tough time with this race. And I hit that McKnight winner yesterday on dirt for the first time, and I'm like, you know what, this horse is training well too over here. It's got speed, which is my theme today. I want speed horses. And looks a little lighter on figures, although its debut, it did get a nice 62 number. This one should pop the lid and go. And we have a beautiful gate drill, 1 out of 95 bullet, 46 and change. That's really, really good for a 2-year-old filly.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's got speed. It's got awesome drills. And I think you throw in that McKnight win yesterday, it gave me the little confidence to pick another one like this again. So that's where I landed. I see you also like the 5 as your backup, Ready for Trouble. Again, that's Hartman. Hartman won with a bomb the other day at 32-1, and he's connecting at over 20% at the meet. Just a really good trainer. The area that we sit in, what's the name of the little restaurant we sit in with RC? With the table there.
Post Parade.
Post Parade. So he's got a area up in the front up there. So he's got his entourage over there, and he's watching races over there. So anyway, I went 6-5 here. You also like the 5, but your top pick is the 10.
Yeah, 10. I'm looking for her, kind of like speed, but not necessarily on the lead. I'm just looking for her to be forwardly placed, and then I'm just praying that he's in contention late. I think you like for this race. I think you want to be somewhere up closer, first or just off the lead. And I have to outkick your horse, so that's going to be an interesting race.
Here's the deal. Yeah, this horse, the coach won yesterday. The last race got in an also eligible list. Went gate to wire. This horse has got a similar post out there, and it's going to be in the clear, and it's got a lot of speed. It's going to be really fresh, really good work tab. Chelsea Bailey, a lot of times these young riders, they know one way to go, and they're good on front runners. So she's probably gonna get this one out there. So yeah, that pick makes a lot of sense. And then the 5 I talked about, you also like that one.
Yeah, Ready for Trouble. She's finished strong on her last 4 outings, and I mean, she's obviously a big contender here. So I mean, just the form itself just looks like she's going to be a part of this race.
All right, very good. Well, we'll move on to the next race, race 3. It's a maiden claiming event, and I singled a horse here. Let me see if I got the wrong number. Race 3 is 612. All right, there we go. I got 612. You got 12-9. The 6 is Pleasingly. Ron Moquette. This guy's too good of a trainer not to have a win at the meet yet. Actually, he does have a win. Good. He just won a race, so he's starting. He was 0 for whatever going into yesterday when I was handicapping this last night. So he snuck a win in there yesterday, and he's a good trainer. Does well at the Oaklawn meet, and got Rafael Bejarano. This horse is getting first fast dirt for the first time. It ran on a sloppy, a good, and turf race. And, the turf sprint at Ellis Park, that was a tough move. It didn't like the surface. Ran better on a good 30 claiming event at Keeneland. At Remington in the slop, it had a little bit of issues in there and had to rally and showed a little bit of guts to get up for third. But I think it's going to show a little bit more natural zip today. And it's got a really nice, again, I like horses that work well here that haven't run here. I'll pick those horses if they're moving well in the morning. And this one does have a nice bullet move, 47 and change on December 23rd. And I'm just going to, this race here, there's a few firsters, obviously, you don't know what they're going to do. But out of the ones that pretty much have been running, only the favorite is the other horse that has speed. So I'm on the outside of that one. Hopefully I can catch a flyer and pin that one down on the rail and keep going. The 12 horse is your top pick. I picked it second, Creditor. It's another D. Wayne Lucas horse. I noticed you have 3 of them on your either first or second so far. And drawn outside, comes from the Saratoga where it just got absolutely buried, but it's second time blinkers. Had a weird, awkward start in that race, and it's been off for a long time. These 2-year-olds that run in July, who knows? They're probably shin bucked, knees weren't closed all the way, whatever. I mean, it's probably grown up a lot, and the work tab says so.
Yeah, and that's what I'm banking on here. And those first 2 races were, real tough company. Some of them went on to win stakes races. I believe the 3rd place finisher in the last one. And it got a nice work, December 24th, Christmas Eve. And hey, this one might be primed to make a big race at a big price. And this is one that I think we might be able to get paid on.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking maybe I just go too deep here and double up my ticket from 96 to $192, which I might end up doing. And I'm going to think about that long and hard. I do like the 12 as well.
Because here's the deal with $96. If you hit this pick 5, it's going to be more likely pay pretty big.
Right.
And you don't want $96 to cost you, $10,000.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Marco.
As a gambler,
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's live on the show. We're going 612. That's going to be, is that $192 just off the top of my head? Yeah, I think it is.
Yes.
And there it is. There it is. You know what? I'm throwing it in. You like it. I picked it second. I guess if you didn't pick it, I'd probably stand ground with my 6, but I'm throwing the 12 in there. All right. Race 4. Yeah.
Here we go.
We might look back at that and be like, wow. All right, race 4 is a maiden special weight. These are for Archie breds, though. And there's a lot of firsters in here. I landed on the 7. No coincidences. Ron Moquette again. This one has a sibling that won first asking. And then, that was pretty much what I was looking at. Precocious early. And I like, again, the Moquette Bejarano angle. And that's all I got. That's what I went with there. Normally, I wouldn't bet this race. And race, my backup is the 8. This horse, we haven't seen this filly since Lone Star, where it ran a really, really fast race. It might be the similar situation from that Lucas horse from the last race. Probably had it might have shin bucked, or something like that. So, or they just stopped on it for whatever reason, because these 2-year-olds, they usually need time to mature. But that was a fast race, especially for a July run on the 4th of July. So if it runs anything close to that, it'll bury this field in its 8-5 morning line. You like the 2 horse on top?
Yeah, I'm rolling with our brother Danny.
Mike Hewitt.
Yeah, Michael Hewitt. So, obviously Danny's the assistant trainer there, and he's been working with this horse every day. And, he told me last night, she's doing pretty good, and she might be worth a look here coming out first time. So I'm going to roll with him. He's gave us 2 tips so far. this year. Unfortunately, they were before our show on both days, and they both won. I think
Yeah,
one of
one at
them,
14-1 yesterday. That
yeah,
wired.
and then another one I think on opening day was like 8-1. So,
Mhm.
so whatever, when he says something, you got to listen to it. You know, he's there working with the horses
He's
live,
on the
and
backstretch. Yeah, he knows what's going on back
he's
there.
hands on. Outside of that one, I landed on Mo Hopeful, and this is a first time starter trained by a below average trainer. Don't really know who it is. Not familiar, but all four of her siblings are winners,
Oh
and
wow.
one of them had a debut win, and another one was second on debut. So I'm just seeing if the bloodline continue that to run, you know, a decent race early, and that's pretty much what I'm going off of. Other than that, yeah, this race is it's all over the place.
Yeah, but those are some bombs, and we got the favorite in there, but we got some good prices, and honestly, anybody can win this race. So hopefully, it's one of our four for my pick five. We'll move on to the fifth race. The fifth race is a maiden special weight going 2 turns for Colts. And this is where you might see a Derby prospect.
Yep.
There's one in particular in here that, or maybe that's later on down the card. Yeah, there's 2 of these races going today. Actually, yeah, okay. This is a maiden special weight. There's I think a other than later that has a monster on there. But I landed on the 9 here. Another horse getting off the rail and stretching out. So, this one ran its debut, ran a good race down there, going 7 panels at Churchill, Chris Hartman. So you're getting off the rail, you're stretching this thing out where you might appreciate it a little bit, although maybe not as much as some of the others I'm breeding. But JJ's Ranger showed a lot of grit in that last race. They didn't go too fast. 7 furlongs, they almost went 23 seconds flat, and they sped up as the race went on. But I just feel like this horse is working pretty good too, and actually working really well, and might appreciate the stretch out. It's off the rail. That was my thinking there. The 3 horse is my backup linebacker, and let's run some against some good company, a lot of good company lines, next out winners, and ran winning races at most tracks. I mean, it's got solid numbers. It looks like it's one that can, get in contention at the quarter pole and range up there, and might have enough kick to get home this time. Pratt, I believe, is in town, and Bejarano's on this one. So I don't know if yeah, he's on the 6th box office, which makes a lot of sense. For Brad Cox, who for some reason I didn't throw this one on my ticket. You don't have it either. It bites me in the butt. It bites me in the butt. You landed on the 2 as your top pick.
Yeah. For the record, I like both of your picks. I looked at both of them, and I like them both. Could have landed on either one of them as well. But I landed on Imperial Gun. And I actually took this horse in last outing here, which was opening weekend. And I really liked the winner of that race at 20-1, Michael Ishis, but I went out and watched him on the track, and Imperial Gun is one amazing looking animal.
Okay.
And that's what prompted me to bet this horse on debut. And it's Asmussen's second time starter. I don't tend to take him first starts. But his second time starts, you're going to see a big improvement. Son of Gunrunner. This is one that could go on to bigger and better things. I think the best races for him is in the future.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the replay in that last race or check out the gallop out. It looks like it ran through traffic, it says here, and that was a short stretch of a mile. We're getting the full stretch today, mile of 16th. And were you able to check out the gallop out on that one? I didn't get a chance.
Not too bad, but it looked like he was just kind of like not real interested in running for first part of the race. I mean, he was way back there. I'm like, okay. And then he started coming hard, and he was up there at the end. I mean, I think it was pretty close, for the, trifecta and all that. So
Okay.
I think a big improvement is in store today for Imperial Gun.
All right. And then you also have a 20-1 shot. Gotta Have Dreams with Esquivel, who's been riding well. I don't know a lot about Aaron Shorter, but he's got a win at the meet. And this one ran a good third opening weekend.
Yeah, that opening weekend was the first race at Oaklawn. It was the second time blinker here. And it ran good. Got best race of his career.
65 number.
And also, you got Bye Bye Birdie, his sister, 12-time winner. So I think going off that last race, if you build on it,
sure,
you could make some improvement. And, anything can happen in these young races. And we don't know which one of these is going to go on to be, a stakes horse, an all-ounce horse, or, 5,000 claimer.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Well, that concludes the pick 5. There's the ticket, guys, $192. Obviously, we could, if you want to spread a little further, add to these. If you want, you can make your ticket as expensive as you want. I typically like to keep it around $200 or less, looking for value. But we'll see what happens. I'll put that ticket in. I'm glad I added the Lucas runner in the third leg, and I'll cross myself for the rest of the races. Race number 6. I'll take the pick 5 ticker off. Race number 6 is maiden special weight. This is for Colts again, but they're sprinting here. I went with the 11, who is Time for Truth. Is this the third Ron Moquette horse I took? Holy cow! Moving like a winner in the AM. That's my notes here. And they bought this horse for $47,000, and instead of running it for one of these claiming events for 50 or 62.5, they said, you know what, we're gonna put this thing in a maiden special weight. It's moving too good, and it does have a strong work tab. It's an Omaha Beach, and out of a looking at Lucky Mare, and I think this thing is going to be pretty sharp out of the gate. Worked really good out of the gate, 2 back on December 17th. I love Bejarano out of the gate. Best case scenario for me, hopefully, or worst case, at least early on, is I'm going to break sharp and have the front, 100 yards out of the gate, 150 yards out of the gate, and then hopefully I can get position and what I like to say, puff your chest out and keep going. My backup was the 3-horse Giorani. It's a Asmussen, and there's a lot of good breeding angles that I liked on it, and it's kind of cool seeing Rosario in town. You also like the 11 as your backup, but 12 is your top pick, Henro.
Yeah, I actually was on the 11 for the longest time, and I was just going through the races. Chris Hartman, he's another Hartman runner, having a good meet right now. If you look at his maiden second starters, 2%, not good. Zimmerman, 3% here right now, not good. So I'm hoping this one actually drifts up in odds and gets colder on the board. You got a half brother, I believe here is or sister here. $1 million earner and 5 wins. Street Band, might have heard of her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if, you get anything near here, could be could be one to reckon with down the lane here. And like I said, Chris Hartman is just doing well, and Ramsey Zimmerman, I believe it was Ramsey, right?
Right.
Is a capable rider. The percentage
he's been
is
around the block. Yeah.
His percentage there is probably not like what you're usually going to get with him. He's just having a rough going here in the beginning. So,
I want to note the horse that beat you last time. The horse that beat that horse last time got a 96 Beyer speed figure. Ran off the screen sprinting. They tried to run it long and it couldn't keep going, so they're going to probably cut that horse back. And it looks like a stakes horse. That Mystic Dan. So, that's a strong runner. Sometimes when you look at these horses and they get beat by that many lengths, you're like, well, what the heck happened? Well, one horse ran off the screen. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense, man. All right, race 7. It's obviously another 2-year-old race, but what kind of condition is it? Oh, this is the stake. This is the Renaissance. 150 grand for colts, 2-year-old colts going 6 panels. I landed on the 7 horse. We're all over the place on this one. The 7, here's the deal with the 7. It looks light on numbers, but hear me out. It ran in June and it won first asking at Lone Star in a slop. This last race, they ran it in a stake race. It was in the 1 hole. It got all whacked out in there. Unprepared at the break, rushed up and faded. And I'm expecting this thing to catch a flyer hopefully today. You got Nick Juarez from Chelsea Bailey. So I'm exiting a stake. I got a trip note. Okay, I don't want to put anybody down, but it's a positive jock switch. Nick Juarez is a really good rider, in my opinion. And I know he hasn't ridden at Oaklawn a lot, but he's right. He's taking a stab at the meat and he's doing well.
He's holding his own.
Yeah, and this horse can easily just run so much faster today because it hasn't had a chance to show that it can run in the 70s or the 80s like these other ones because, it won first asking, got a 52 Beyer in June. You're not going to get an 80 or 90 Beyer from a 2-year-old in June. I'm sorry, unless it's like lost in a fog or something. And the last race, it was just a toss. It was a total trip note toss. So I think I think the connections feel like, hey, man, we break clean here. We can show what we can do. And this is a 30-1 bomb. And this is my long shot play of the day. Frost free, 30-1. I think at the very least, man, just make sure you have this thing on your exotics. Got a plane going through there. Have it on your exotics. Have it underneath at the very least. But I'm going to have it as a top win candidate, and I'm just going to hope that this thing wakes up and shocks the world, and we get big balloons. My backup is the 3 horse. I mean, this horse is well documented. Booth is super, super fast. Some people loved him in that last race. Some people were against him. This is a horse that beat Nash, and Nash is a nice animal in its debut. So this horse is going to be tough to beat. You landed on the 2.
2 Valentine Candy.
Yep.
Had it in opening day, and I was there live. I watched this horse just dominate, and it dominated at Oaklawn. A repeat of something like that, this horse should be a repeat winner. I mean, I just absolutely love the way this horse ran. Son of Justify. I mean, the breeding's all there. The trainer's all there. Rosario's there. So, try to beat it if you can. I just think this is a deserving favorite in this race after that last race. So,
yeah, I normally don't. It is carrying. It's a stakes winner. It's a multiple winner, so it's carrying 124 pounds in here. They slap on the extra weight. I'm more like worried about weight on route races as opposed to sprints. But I just wanted to make a note that you're carrying extra weight. But that is a classy horse, 100%.
Yeah, and then underneath I have Tejon Pass, the Peter Miller Pratt combination.
Mm-hmm.
Always dangerous. He actually had a good work here December 23rd at Oaklawn. Just the connections alone, puts it in contention. Didn't get real creative on this race. Not trying to bake the bank, so I'm just trying to look for this win.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hope my bomb can turn the tables on your top pick, and then we have a lot of other horses in here to contend with as well. So I'm interested to see how, and I'm probably going to be 40-1 in this race. I'm guessing it's 30-1 morning. That might be 50-1. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that 7 horse, and then Valentine Candy, and that'll be a fun little stake to watch, and we'll see where those colts go after this race. Race 8, we both like the 8, but I landed on the 7 horse as my top pick. And what I like there is, I think I said I wanted this one to. Oh, I said Wiley deserves another 2-turn shot. So Wiley's D's is the name of the horse. Yeah, it ran in the mud at Delaware and, lost against a good field there. I'm not sure what happened that day, but it's been training well, and it's bred to go long, and I just wanted to give it one more crack. It's 12-1, and it made sense to try it. Carbone, every time I'm thinking of Frankie Carbone from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I mean, remember him in the meat locker?
Yeah, he was frozen there.
took 3 days to thaw him out. That horse could be your Southwest horse. This could be your next superstar. But it's sprinted, and I want to see you go 2 turns. It's a short stretch of a mile, and the way speed was holding yesterday, the 8 could just go right to the front and just bury this field. I mean, that was impressive. When you win your debut at Churchill by 8, easy like that, that's an indication that you're a special animal. So I think it's going to be odds on, even money. And I don't know. I'm going to try and beat it. It's going to be a tough task. I see you landed on that horse.
Yeah, I just with the connections again here, and he always has one of these horses that is just an absolute monster. And yeah, like you just said, I think this is the one that is the monster. So
right.
And I had the 9 underneath. Northern Flame, pretty good horse. Ran in some Greatest Stakes company before this, and then
it was Breeders' Futurity and Street Sense. One I made in at Churchill. Good little.
That one has a shot.
Yeah.
So another horse in here, I was kind of looking the number 4 horse, just to not to get off subject here. This is a horse I was looking at opening day. I didn't pick in. It actually won at 20-1. It's getting distance again. So, and it's good train. And 15-1 looks like a pretty juicy price if you're looking for a price here.
Yeah, it's a blame out of a Twirling Candy. My notes on it is bet next time on turf. If it runs on turf, I would like to see that horse run on the sod. But hey, you never know, right?
No, yeah. If you're not
underneath play at the very least.
Yeah, if you're not going to bet Willie D's, you don't want to play the favorite. That's another one you could look at. To try to, get in some exotics and cash a hefty ticket.
Very good. We'll move on to the 9th race. It's another stake. It's called a Year's End for fillies going a mile. $200,000. Wow. We both landed on the 7 horse. Denim and Pearls. I didn't want to get too cute here. I think this is a special filly. It's 2 for 2, and Pratt gets the call. It's a full sister to Newgate, who's a multiple stakes winner. Horse is perfectly drawn on the outside, 7 of 7. And I think Pratt's going to be able to do whatever he wants with this filly from out there. Backup is Tapit Janelli, if I'm pronouncing that right. Horse has dominated both races at smaller circuits. Remington debut, and then, of course, over there at Delta Downs in the slop. So, and that was a stake race, and it just won by 7 and won by 5. And waters get a little bit deeper here, and you're carrying high weight along with the 7, but these two are much better than, in my opinion, the rest of the field. You like the 7, but you also like the 5. Talk about those horses.
No need to talk about that 7. You just pretty much cleared everything up. I think this horse is your winner today, and then that's going to be. I'm not getting cute in this race. I'm going to have a just win only bet on number 7, Denim Pearls. That's it. All right. And then Ice Cold is one who can, come off the pace and make a stretch run. 2 back was a stake winner and won by 10 lengths in Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana state bred. It's an Indy bred. It's a. Hey, I'm a Hoosier too. I was born in Hammond, Indiana, so I'm Indiana bred myself.
So that's pretty impressive. And then that was actually breaking the maiden as well. And then you went to Churchill, ran in a optional claiming 100, ran second first time against winners. That was a good race there, and you could see who this horse lost to in that race, Denim and Pearls.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe this is your exacta again. But I do like your pick, which it was
that was Tapit.
That 2.
Janelli.
I also looked at that horse, but I came up with the same conclusion you did. It gets a little bit deeper here. So
yeah, it gets a little bit deeper. It's it's a Tapit of a war front, so maybe turf will be in its future, and that's why I probably romped and slop. A lot of times those turf horses like to slop, but it did win. Sprinting its debut at a nice number by 7.
Yeah,
so you just never know. It's well bred, and my notes again on this one, just like that other horse. I'm thinking turf in its future,
and with that one, Tapit Janelli, really, are the waters much deeper? She did what she was supposed to do then, right? So,
well, of course, yeah. When you win like that, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, I'll give her a look today. If she wins this race, I will be a believer.
Of course.
So,
of course. Well, let's close out the card. What is this? This is a maiden special weight going 2 turns for fillies. Maybe we got a fantasy runner in here. I landed on the 3-horse Happy Talk. It's the coach with Asmussen's kid. What's his first name? K. Asmussen. I forget his first name. Keith Asmussen. Okay. So anyway, they took the hood off this horse. They're putting the hood on. So I said hood may help. Good drills. Have to Lauban. That's a great 2 winner. So you got some it's precocious. It's an arrogant out of a Spikestown. I'm hoping this horse shows a little bit more zip with that hood, and they probably obviously worked this horse with the hood on December 28th, and it showed a lot of zip in the morning, one off the blacktop. And this thing at 6-1 will probably wake up a lot today, 3rd time. Get to the PM racing. And then my backup was the 11 in just my heels. Blinkers on, stretching out. Another one of those Rafael Bejarano combination horses. And you like the 2 and the 10.
Yes. Ava's Look. So Ava's Look it's the first timer in here, and I'm going against the grain here. When I see some horses with some experience and pretty good experience, I don't tend to take the first time starter in the race. But I was looking at, her only sibling. She won her debut, and she also won next out in a stake, and then she won next out in a graded 2 stake. Then ran third in the graded stake.
Wow, this Hoosier filly won 720.
Yeah.
Actually, it's still running. It's still running.
Yeah, she's still going.
Well, I ran in the
Breeders' Cup
distaff. Sorry about that. Something went wrong that day, but yeah, this is a multiple stakes winner.
It's a multiple stakes winner, and to me, when I'm looking at something like this, and this field didn't look, like the toughest field. I mean, give me some blood here. When I like the young horses, I'm looking at the bloodlines. I do a lot of handicapping with siblings and family lines and all that. But this one just jumped off the page in this race, which is why I took her as a first time starter.
Yeah, man. I didn't dive deep into that one like you did, and that's a good find. That's a really nice half sibling, and like you said, it's the only sibling, and it won first asking. So, and it won
3 stakes races. So
look, we're not saying Ava's Look's going to be that filly, but as good as that filly. But hey, we're not saying it can't either.
No, exactly.
You got the 10 as your backup here.
The 10 is
Lim's Constitution.
Yeah, ran a good clunker here in Churchill this fall. In a new barn, capable barn, not winning yet, 0 for 16. But you got Juarez, we talked about him, and we're stretching out. We're getting the distance. I'm hoping a second time out here can improve this horse. It's by a Constitution, and paid a lot of money for her in the debut winner, won next out. There's a couple of things to like. 30-1 is another thing. So if you get any of this morning line, if you win, play, show, maybe even you play the super, it'll bump up that ticket, the payout. So I'm going to include in like a super or like a 4-horse try or 5-horse try or something like that. This is the race where I'm going to do kind of like a Kentucky Derby style betting on. Just add some stuff in and box them up and see what happens.
Okay, duly noted. And I do want to point out, Marco, that's your Ava's Look here is your price play of the day. And you made a strong case for it. And I think that's definitely a horse I'm going to be having a win wager on, or at the very least, I'll include it in my doubles and some other stuff. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I think it was a good card. Good show. Everybody, hopefully you'll make some money. Tomorrow, on New Year's Day, we have 2 family horses running that have a big shot. I know I'm picking them, and I know you're going to pick them as well.
I will be picking them. I think they're both live.
7-2 and 3-1 morning lines.
Yeah.
But, I think with any other trainer, God bless Danny and Mike Hewitt. But if you had like Kenny, or if you had like Pete Miller or Hartman or these other guys, those horses are going to be like 8-5,
Right.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's see what happens today. And like we like to say, Marco, let's cash some tickets.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Come out to the lake house. Let's go.
Well, I'm going to go downtown. I'm going to hike up that mountain by the Arlington Hotel and go up that tower.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think some people are going to meet you out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
We'll see.
Watch a little football later, dinner tonight, and we'll talk about the card for New Year's Day.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Make some money.
Peace.
Later.